And I am so privileged to be joining you this morning. We will be diving into A Course in Miracles, lesson 27. And I am going to start with just a quick recap of the lessons that have come preceding this one. Lesson 1, nothing I see in this room means anything. Lesson 2, I have given everything I see in this room all of the meaning that it has for me. Lesson 3, I do not understand anything I see in this room. Lesson 4, these thoughts do not mean anything. They are like the things I see in this room. Lesson 5, I am never upset for the reason I think. Lesson 6, I am upset because I see something that is not there. Lesson 7, I see only the past. Lesson 8, my mind is preoccupied with past thoughts. Lesson 9, I see nothing as it is now. Lesson 10, my thoughts do not mean anything. Lesson 11, my meaningless thoughts are showing me a meaningless world. Lesson 12, I am upset because I see a meaningless world. Lesson 13, a meaningless world engenders fear. Lesson 14, God did not create a meaningless world. Lesson 15, my thoughts are images that I have made. Lesson 16, I see no neutral thoughts. Lesson 17, I see no neutral things. Lesson 18, I am not alone in experiencing the effects of my seeing. Lesson 19, I am not alone in experiencing the effects of my thoughts. Lesson 20, I am determined to see. Lesson 21, I am determined to see things differently. Lesson 22, what I see is a form of vengeance. Lesson 23, I can escape from the world I see by giving up attack thoughts. Lesson 24, I do not perceive my own best interests. Lesson 25, I do not know what anything is for. Lesson 26, my attack thoughts are attacking my invulnerability. And lesson 27, above all else, I want to see. Today's idea expresses something stronger than mere determination. It gives vision priority among your desires. You may feel hesitant about using the idea on the grounds that you are not sure you really mean it. This does not matter. The purpose of today's exercise is to bring the time when the idea will be wholly true a little nearer. There may be a great temptation to believe that some sort of sacrifice is being asked of you when you say you want to see above all else. If you become uneasy about the lack of reservation involved, add, vision has no cost to anyone. If fear of loss still persists, add further, it can only bless. The idea for today needs many repetitions for maximum benefit. It should be used at least every half hour or more if possible. You might try for every 15 or 20 minutes. It is recommended that you set a definite time interval for using the idea when you wake or shortly afterwards, and attempt to adhere to it throughout the day. It will not be difficult to do this even if you are engaged in conversation or otherwise occupied at the time. You can still repeat one short sentence to yourself without disturbing others. The real question is, how often will you remember it? How often do you want today's idea to be true? Answer one of these questions and you have answered the other. You will probably miss several applications and perhaps quite a number. Do not be disturbed by this, but do try to keep your schedule from then on. If only once during the day you feel that you are perfectly sincere while you are repeating today's idea, you can be sure that you have saved yourself many years of effort. Well, good morning. For those of you who are in the chat, I'm so happy to be with you today. Y'all, yesterday's lesson, I repeated, and I actually did the exercise probably 6 times yesterday, and I learned so much about myself. It was wild. Yesterday's idea and practice was that we were supposed to take something that concerned us and effectively say, like, I'm afraid of these things about it. It was wild. I just used circumstances that I knew were upsetting to me. And then I also just used things in real time. If something upset me, I just used it in the moment. And it really helped me. It really helped me realize, like, oh, I didn't know that I had emotions or fear around something. And so I'm going to do this exercise today. I'm trying to, like, think through how I'll do this every 30 15 or 30 minutes, that's a lot of time. I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to set my alarm and snooze it. And hopefully I can set it to like 15-minute snoozes. I don't know. I'm going to have to figure that out. But above all else, I want to see. And I love the additions here. Vision has no cost to anyone, it can only bless. Y'all, this whole series of doing A Course in Miracles, these last 27 days have really, truly been a blessing to me. And I'm curious to hear your thoughts of how it's impacted you. And frankly, if you all have been with me throughout this time, I'd love to hear in the chat, what A Course in Miracles has meant to you. I know for me, one of the most important lessons was actually lesson 16, which said, I have no neutral thoughts. And that was a big, that was a I guess that's like it's a reminder. It's like it's the truth, you know? It's like, "Oh, I didn't realize that all of my thoughts, they either bring life or they chip away at me a little bit in terms of like they suck the life out of me or they give life to me." And the more that I think things, the more I project that out into the world. And so just the last 27 days have been such a good reminder to me of how powerful our thoughts are and how we get to choose. We get to choose what we think about. We get to choose what we really invest our minds into. So I'm going to go ahead and jump here in the chat. And I just wanted to say good morning to a few of you. I'm so sorry. I think that's Nba. I'm not sure how to say your name, but hi, good morning, this guy. Old World, love 7 October. This guy, oh, New Zealand, good morning. I love that. Provost and Valentino, thank you for joining. Nato De Coco, we are reading through A Course in Miracles. So A Course in Miracles is a very thick book that has a workbook at the end, and we're just going through one lesson every single day. And every single lesson has just one simple idea that we're supposed to apply throughout the day. And y'all, isn't that so true? Isn't it so true that we actually need to be practicing what it is that we want to learn? You know, we actually need to be putting into application the things that we want to see changed. And so this concept of above all else I want to see, effectively, we're first admitting that we don't see clearly. And that immediately predisposes you and me to a humility and an openness to hear other people's opinion and to hear other people's perspective. And especially when we're with our personal family or with our partner, it's so helpful that we can come at the situation, approach the situation with that lens, because it's so easy to just assume that we know everything and that um, we have the full picture. And so just this statement, above all else I want to see, immediately predisposes you and I to just take a step back and be like, oh, what am I not seeing? And a lot of times we're not actually able to see from their perspective if we're convinced that we see it clearly ourselves. You know, I had this thought a couple years ago around how every single thing that has been unprocessed from the past, every experience, every emotion, every one of those past moments that we haven't really allowed ourselves to confront or feel or move through, it's effectively been suppressed. Each one of those becomes a brick in our mind. An unprocessed experience, an unprocessed emotion forms into a brick and a narrative of how we see the world. And so eventually, over years, you and I are sitting behind this brick wall that we've built with all this unprocessed stuff from our past. And then we're looking at the world through an unprocessed, kind of wounded lens in so many ways. And our past experiences, because they were real for us, they turn into data. You know, each one of those bricks holds data that we've never really addressed. And so then when we talk about, am I living awake? Am I living really truly conscious? Am I seeing? If we're sitting behind this brick wall that has all of this unprocessed data that we've never really taken a look at, it's going to be really hard for us to live unbiased and to live objectively and to be curious about what other people have to say and curious about different belief systems and different approaches to the world. And so the more that we actually take time to tend to ourselves and to tend to those bricks, the more we're actually able to see other people and maybe even, God willing, sit behind their wall with them. That's empathy. is to pick ourselves up and go and sit behind their wall and see the world from their eyes and from their perspective. And man, can you imagine if we had that kind of a world where we all knew how to see the world through each other's eyes? And then there's just like this massive amount of understanding that comes with that, this massive amount of care. And once we empathize, then we can decide, oh, I want to have compassion. And compassion is effectively empathy in action. And so we can never get to compassion if we don't first empathize. And man, I don't think we can fully empathize until we've done the work to really process our own stuff, because otherwise we're just projecting our experience on them because we're not seeing clearly. The definition of emotional intelligence, there's kind of like two parts to it. The first part is to become aware of, understand, and express one's own emotions. And the second part, and is the conjunction connecting them, and to engage in interpersonal relationships empathetically and judiciously with wisdom. So it's going to be so hard for us to engage in external relationships with wisdom and with empathy if we haven't first done the work to become aware of, understand, and be able to express our own experience, our own emotions. Just jumping back down here into the chat, Slick Ricks, thank you for joining. Soren Fried, Torrance, or Terrence, I'm sorry. Time, JDX, I am the blender. Morgan Brooking, thank you for joining. Kenneth Pink, Hotel Corner Chair. Samuel Romine. Alex, time is MVP, thank you for joining. Yuji, John Morris, thank you for joining. Jeb Pratt, oh gosh, Jap Trap. I totally butchered that. Chris Cauldron, thank you for joining. Rod, Sender V, good to see you. We don't do that here, but I'm glad you're here. We'll just call it a community. Alex Cleary, Montgomery Burns, Becky, thank you guys so much for joining this morning. Soren Fried, I want a miracle on the stock market. I'm pretty sure we all do. Steve Bamos, thank you. Thanks for joining. All right, I'm just jumping down. Joanne, Gino, Ray. No, it's not AI. I'm here. Hello. Hamdrad. I'm just looking to see, honestly, if there's any comments about today's lesson. Mars Queen, thank you. Thank you for joining. I love that. Sammy's, thank you for coming on here. Freeze in time. I'm just having a blanket around me. I'm just cold. Beto, Ramesh Soren, sorry. Robert, I guess you get how I like spell things out. I actually like spell it out rather than trying to say the whole thing at once. Taller Diets, good to see you. NK, GGBB, Cedric, Gregory. All right, y'all, I need to jump off. I've got a meeting here in a few minutes. Jordan Biggs. I just wanted to give a shout out to everyone. Randall, don't worry about it. Todd Marshall. Guys, thank you so much for joining this morning. I hope that each one of you will take this concept today. Above all else, I want to see clearly. Time is, you said, I like a wall between myself and everyone else except a loving partner. You know, that's actually just such a good point, because the goal isn't that we strip ourselves of all boundaries and we like expose ourselves to danger and we're vulnerable to everybody. But really there's something around, am I perceiving the world appropriately? Am I seeing clearly? I think that's the real question. So for so long as we do have a wall that's been built by old data, and we're not allowing our information processing system to update, just like how a computer has tons of data, we have tons of data. So are we allowing our information processing system to update with new experiences, with new data, with the fact that we're no longer kids, we're adults? because a lot of times that little kid holds data. There's data associated with a 7-year-old or 10-year-old that we haven't allowed to update. So us going back and actually analyzing the wall and each brick allows for us to then update the data that each brick is enclosed with. So with that, I do need to jump off. I've got a meeting here. But so good to see you all. Thank you for joining. I will be live again tonight at 8:30 p.m. Eastern, and we will be diving into some deeper topics. So, frankly, if you have a topic that you'd like for me to talk through or talk about, we've been talking about grief actually a lot recently. So, if there's something that um, is on your mind, I'd love to hear. And then I will see you tonight at 8:30 p.m. Eastern. With that, have such a wonderful day. Again, the lesson is above all else, I want to see. And ideally, we move through this lesson every 15, 30 minutes, which is a lot. So good luck. All right.